In this video, we will demonstrate a proof-of-concept system we created by utilizing the Hyperledger Iris framework to support issuing of verifiable credentials. This scenario will demonstrate an access management system used by an organization to issue credentials to its employees, which then can be used to access organizational resources. In our screens, we can see two applications opened. On the left side, we have the administration panel, and on the right side, we have our mobile wallet app. First, the administrator will log in to the system using a username and a password. After successfully logging in, the admin is redirected to a screen which displays all the available employees. There, he has the option of editing or creating an employee. He will select the option to create an employee and will fill the requested fields. Upon pressing the submit button, an email will be sent to the employee's email address. This will contain a unique link which will help the employee set up his wallet. The employee, after clicking the link in the email, will be prompted to download the application. In our case, we have already downloaded the application, so we will proceed to the next step. Here we can see a QR code which contains a base64 encoded invitation. This is necessary in order for the two wallets to form a connection with each other. The employee will create a wallet in the mobile app by adding a name and a password. Then we'll proceed to scan the QR code. Once the QR code has been scanned, the user accepts the invitation, and now a connection between the two wallets, the organizations and the employees, has been successfully made. By pressing the active connection, we can now see some more details about the connection. The next step is for the administrator to issue some credentials to the employee. The administrator can do that by visiting the admin panel, finding the employee and selecting the edit option. The administrator will proceed to add a room to the employee. Here we can also see a preview of the verifiable credentials that will be sent to the employee. We can observe some of the properties that we have inserted previously, like the job title and the email address. Also, we can see the room that we have just selected. Finally, we can observe that the credential will be signed with PPS BLS signature. Once the administrator has issued the credentials, the employee will receive a credential invitation request, which he must either accept in order to store the credentials or decline. Once successfully stored, which can be done by adding a label to the credentials, we can then view some of the details of the issued credential. Here, for example, we can see some of the properties of the credentials, like the room that was issued and the signature scheme. The final step of this scenario is to use the received verifiable credentials to gain access to the authorized room. To do that, the employee will go before the door and scan the QR code displayed in the door screen, which is powered by a Raspberry Pi. In our demo video, we will just visit a web page. However, the steps are exactly the same. The employee will once again scan the QR code and form a connection between his wallet and the door's Raspberry Pi wallet. Once the connection has been formed, the Raspberry Pi will send a proof request, which the user must accept in order to send the verifiable credential. After sending the verifiable credential, the Raspberry Pi will validate the verifiable credential, and if all checks turn out to be OK, the door will open and the screen will turn green.